Welcome to Delver's Dream. Today is going to be a super delightful day where we are actually doing something glorious. We are going to be discovering what happened last night, because if you watched last episode, you know that they finished level 3 of the mine. Yay!
With no inconvenience, no deaths, everything went smoothly.
Right.
Except for the several people that died and the many hobgoblins and,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, I was about to say.
And everything that went wrong. So.
Dwarf crapping his pants and, you know. Like,
And the girl who got her skull ripped off.
Yeah, like, there's many. So, yes, so many people
Besides
died.
that, I mean,
negative. You're always fixating on the negative thing. Come on, guys.
Always so terrible. It's always awful.
So negative.
It was overall fine.
Just an entire generation of children have been completely and hopelessly scarred.
Well, that happened afterwards. So that happened after the mine. So then they get out of the mine and they decide it is time to go have a drink. And it turns out that they went down to Joaquin's Spiral and did all kinds of crazy stuff because it was the Festival of the Light, which is one of the biggest festivals on the continent that happens once a year. And in the middle of it is something called the Night Market, which only happens once a year. Thousands of vendors all around the gorgeous palaces selling all kinds of crazy stuff. And they entered a costume contest, which Dill won. Congratulations, Dill.
Yeah, how do you doing when you are actually not in a costume? Dun, dun, dun.
I cheated.
You definitely did. You definitely did.
Yeah, no, you definitely did cheat.
Listen, no harm, no foul, you know? What they don't know won't hurt them.
It's like if the actual king came dressed up as the king, and then everyone like, wow, that crown looks so real.
He looks just like the king.
Wow.
It's amazing.
Not like I had to do 2 rehearsals for my whole lot of enactment and a 250 gold pieces costume that was ripped. You can win.
I did 1,000 years of rehearsal to be a Reaper, so I think I still win.
Sorry about that. Yeah.
I tried
so hard for my. Yeah.
Isn't there like a little contract that you said that you have to actually be alive in order to participate in these kind of events?
Yeah, no, I've never heard that rule before.
Yeah, I don't think I saw that sign.
Not on the contract.
No.
So racist.
I checked it.
Yeah, you're terrible.
So racist.
It's being that race.
So we are dealing with. So why don't we go over what happened last night? And
who wants to go first?
Well, no. So first, we're just going to talk about the costume contest, not what happened afterwards.
Gotcha.
All right. So why don't we start with the winner, Mr. Dill?
Oh, lovely.
He loves going
it's
first.
Happening to you.
It's happening. It's happening.
Yes. Thank you, Kyle, for being such a wonderful person to allow me to go first. I truly appreciate it. Dill, he came dressed up as a Reaper, believe it or not, and everyone were impressed with how true to life it looked, or true to death.
Imagine that.
Yeah, that's great.
And he won the contest. He got a lot of praise from a lot of people. Other people even dressed up as Reapers as well. It was very emotional for him. He's of a race that are made to not feel emotion, and this was like the first moment of joy and just pride in his life. And
Oh no.
yeah, truly, this was a huge moment for him, and it was very overwhelming. Sure.
You almost got a
Oh,
job
sure.
too.
And in fact, it was so overwhelming that it actually broke the Reaper a little bit.
Mhm.
So it's very similar to like when a person gets really drunk. That's what happens when Reapers feel too much emotion. So
Overload.
next, why don't we head over to Ithul? What do you remember of the costume contest last night? Nothing. He doesn't remember anything.
Well,
He's muted. Yeah, there you go.
He got blacked out.
well, Athul is relatively happy that he was able to at least present in normal form and not worry about straining to maintain a camouflage, even if everyone thought it was a costume. And any chance I can take to humiliate the Mind Flayers is great by me.
Good.
So that's delightful. And then what about Gorf? What did he end up? What was the costume contest like for Gorf?
So, Gorf, probably against his better judgment, went with Gruna's suggestion to wear an owl costume so that he could cosplay as the Owl Bear. And through certain events, basically Gorf tripped and smashed his costume and basically looked like a fool. It was taken as Gorf making fun of owl folk, and so Gorf basically committed an accidental racism against some of his fellow Valencians. And the kicker was, again, unbeknownst to Gorf, that his father was in the audience and saw the whole thing. So, Gorf probably got super drunk to try to forget about that. What just happened?
We lost Ian.
Guillermo. He was next, and he didn't want to have to share. So he was
Right.
like, nope. So for right now, I can fix it by doing, we'll do that. It's not fantastic, but there we have it. So that helps a little bit until he comes back.
What just happened?
Oh, I just shared my screen, and fortunately, it was it ended up being Guillermo's slot. So we all good.
Perfect.
There you go.
Yeah, so yeah, Gorf, being the son of the council member that sits on the Council of Valencia, in public, in one of the most celebrated events in this country, if not the entire world, presented himself as an owl folk racist.
Gross.
So, yeah. My
So
dad probably worked
no.
overtime trying to calm some people down and assure people that he did not raise a bigot.
But you have no idea because you got wasted.
Oh no, I got wasted. Trying to forget.
Felix, how was your experience in the costume contest?
Oh, mine? Oh, I feel like I really did the most work out of everybody, honestly. I went out, got the most expensive of all of the costumes. I do remember that I completely ruined some kid's childhood. That was fun.
Yeah.
Probably several kids. Several.
Yeah. Well, there was one kid that almost, was top 3 in the contest
The blanket kid.
pools. Yes, the mud blanket kid, and honestly, it was adorable, really, and I just completely ruined that child's day.
You just crapped on
And
his dreams.
yeah, you know, but all's in fun, right? I did it for my friends. That's the takeaway.
Yeah, you did it
Is
for
you know, as
yourself.
long as it's for friends, you know. But I feel like after everything else, that was just a fun night, you know, fun contest.
I love it. Do we have Bruna back yet?
Nope.
Not sure.
If she comes back, it'll screw it up, and we'll hear it.
Mhm.
Oh, Well, I think I. Oh.
Bruna is having some internet issues.
I probably should.
Am I? How dare you? I don't have issues. You have
Yeah.
issues.
Let's be real, we all have issues.
Right, a lot of them. Just
Especially
so
after
many.
that last session.
Yeah, so today, what is going to happen?
Bear with me with just a sec. I'm going to. Actually, can you email me that photo, Kyle? That way I don't have to screw up the stream. I can do it with the email.
All right. So what we are going to do today is we are going to be trying to figure out what the hell happened last night. It is a mystery to most because everyone got hammered.
Yeah.
So now we need to find out. And apparently you guys might have screwed some things up because it seems like some people are not super excited about how you acted.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
Good thing people don't know I'm the actual Reaper then.
but do
Well,
they?
we don't know yet, do we? There's
That
all
would
kinds
be
of crazy-
a scandal.
Oh,
Right.
that'd
The
be totally
King of the
would
night
be.
market's an actual Reaper.
Disqualified.
So are you ready to last week?
Oh, I'm ready.
So the runner-up would be Gerwald, probably, right?
Oh yeah. Well,
Likely.
Gerwald got so wasted last night that he is just hammered. Still, he's hungover.
He's passed out somewhere.
Yeah, he's so gonna have to remind him of all of the crazy that he did. But Gruna's back.
Hello.
So,
Hey.
Gruna, what is your memory of the costume contest?
I mean, it's quite difficult to remember, but I don't know. I felt so powerful. I felt like I was loved. Well, didn't get. However, I do have a faint memory also of some guards destroying my 250 gold pieces costume while I was being humiliated in the middle of the stage. But yeah, I think
I remember that too.
getting drunk helped with that. I'm feeling better about it now. I don't want to go back in public in a while, but other than that, I feel okay.
You were. Well, so you all start your day in Delver Stream. You do remember how you home. None of you do. And as you wake up, suddenly your tents start just shaking violently.
I'm still strong.
As
Did I
that
tentacle
happens-
hug someone again?
As that happens, you start just like freaking out a little because the wind is not slowing down at all. And all of a sudden, you are all just exposed as your tents are just ripped right out of the ground, and you see a very angry Cordon approaching all of you. Just
But do we
What
share a tent?
the
Or...
hell
You do
did
all
you
sure did.
do last night?
I...
Oh my god!
Oh, Corton, good morning. How are you doing today, lovely?
You
How did I end
good
up here? What is
morning,
my family? I didn't know I
me.
slept here.
You little bastards! Oh,
Does
I
it
let
make
you
you
go
feel
have
any better
a
that
drink.
we don't remember?
You shut your mouth right now.
That's fair.
I have lost 7 investors in the because of your shenanigans last night.
Acceptable losses?
Felix, shut up.
I think
Sorry.
a head would be an acceptable loss right now.
You know, with the headache I'm having, I could probably go without it.
Agree.
So I need to know
Can we make constitution checks to see
Exactly.
how much you're
Hungover
struggling?
we are?
I mean, obviously you don't remember, but I'm
Can
curious
we make a constitution
to
check?
see how bad the hangover is.
it is pretty excruciating.
Okay, so
It
it's
is
just across
to
the
the
board. We all drank to the degree that we could. Yeah,
I
Yeah.
see a light. Am I
I get
bad?
it. I get it. That's good.
So,
You know,
yes,
Gruno, that's just Corton.
Mm.
You're like,
Oh my
who's the
God.
old man?
I need to know exactly what you did last night so that I can fix this. You
I don't remember what he did, and then I look at Jill, but I don't remember what someone did.
When you woke up, you realized that the crown that Dill got during the contest last night is not on Dill's head, but it's on Gruna's head.
Of course it is.
Bruna, my dear.
I mean,
If stories are to be believed, our friendly neighborhood Reaper won that crown last night. Why on earth do you have it, dear?
well, someone had to keep it while he was with that girl.
I'm sorry, what?
That's all kind of just like.
You don't remember, Jill? I mean, she was kind of cute. Skinny looking, quite pale. Kind of looking like you, actually.
Are you sure
I'm
you
sorry,
weren't
what
seeing
did she
double?
look like? What
Jill-
did she look
Still
like?
hooked up with a Reaper cosplayer.
Oh!
Yeah, actually, I don't know exactly because she was under so much makeup. It was almost like seeing an illusion, but she certainly had a feminine voice. And it was quite cheap.
Dill, you sly dog.
So,
I'm actually
for
not
the
know
record,
the mechanics of that. How do you do? How if you're
yes, for the record, Reapers are not gendered. So, second base, maybe?
I don't know, man. To tell
You had a
me what
nice
did you do with that
conversation.
girl?
I can't really remember. I apologize. You usually I remember everything so well. I remember the words said to me 1,000 years ago, but I cannot remember last night.
I definitely remember Gruna picking a fight and nearly,
So stop. Stop. We are dealing with one thing at a time. All right.
fair enough.
Yeah, tell me more about
this-
that. You didn't win that.
Was this a cosplayer, or could it have been a freaking stir?
A what?
What?
I'm fucking sorry. It carried out. a little
Damn.
bit. Shifter?
Still missed the word.
A
You're cutting it.
shifter.
Shifter.
Oh,
Shifter or Reaper? Shifter.
Dill, did
I
you
mean-
pay? Did you pay a prostitute shifter to turn into a reaper?
No. No, he did not. No. Apparently,
Oh.
Dill, you decided that you were to try to, I don't know what,
Neither do I.
Canoodle.
with part of the non. Can I finish my goddamn sentence?
Sorry.
With the non-Ketty core.
Ooh. That's a bad match.
Dill.
That's a match, honey.
You did the horizontal monster mash with an Onketian? Oh,
Yeah, not with
man.
Nanketians.
Come
I-
on.
They
I
suck.
don't think I can.
Well,
That's-
they can
that's
change
low even
forms, so
for
maybe
me.
they
I'm a
could
bard.
in some way.
The reason that I ask is because would you please check your pockets?
Checking my pockets too.
Yeah.
Well, you actually don't have your tunic on. You should go fetch it up. I'm kidding.
Gorf definitely doesn't have his pants on.
Of course.
Oh. So that talk to that went another way, huh?
So still,
Sorry.
as you
Nevermore.
as you start digging through your pockets, the thing that you find looks like an army. It's a picture next to a map that looks like an army of reapers in a giant mausoleum.
Aww.
And there's very specific coordinates, and there's a note in the non-Ketty language side of it.
Can
Can
I
you
read
read
that?
non-Ketty?
I can read everything.
Oh, I could read
Ooh,
Nanketi.
show off.
What a show. But you don't know the actual accent. You'd be so off.
Right.
I know that.
Yeah, I can't actually pronounce it.
The note says on the little inscription is just a question, a single question. To army? Question mark. With build map.
Say that again?
Yeah, you're cutting
So-
horribly.
You're frozen as
Yeah.
well.
The question is, oh, let me turn on my. Give me 1 sec. I will turn my.
Is your phone updating again?
No, this is just the crappy Wi-Fi here.
Oh, okay.
So I'm going to do a hotspot. So hold on 1 sec.
Sure.
That
Let me-
all right. Is that better?
Yes. A little bit, I think.
Okay. Fabulous. Awesome. So the little note that Dill has is a map, it looks like, to what seems to be an army of reapers. And the question that's written on there is just a new army.
Hmm.
Dill, what is it?
How educated are you all on Reapers?
Ugh. As educated as we possibly can be, but no one is that educated on Reapers.
Well, whenever one Reaper dies, it's replaced by a new one. And, well, somewhere out there, there's a big army of Reapers waiting to be put to the duty. And it appears that the Ketty now knows of the location of this army.
Wait, what? The non-Ketty know. That's not possible. How on earth did they find out? How did you get that? What did you do?
Even I don't know the location of this. The Ferryman keeps that knowledge locked tight.
Huh, not that tight, I guess.
Oh, that's what he said. There is.
That's what I was thinking about. Aha! You got me.
My man.
You got me.
So apparently you stole a very important message from a non-Ketty diplomat last night.
What would a Reaper army do
Well,
for non-kit? Don't they
I mean,
work for the
Nankedians
Ferryman?
are already like enemies, so we know
If
some
they were to
information.
find a way to control these, a Reaper of
Imagine.
undead.
An army
That's-
without fear, doesn't feel pain, doesn't need to eat or drink, never gets tired.
I mean, I get that, but how do they go from being regular Reapers to an army for non-kit?
Who knows?
Is something
Obviously
like that
non-Ketty,
possible,
though.
Dill? In your experience?
I don't know. Very powerful necromancy might be able to. Dill is going to summon his scythe and lower it, take the lantern, and he's just going to put the letter in the lantern and burn it. This information is too important to be put in the hands of anyone but the Ferryman.
So we actually kind of looked out. Found this out, that
And
they know.
Portland's gonna be like, nowhere! Oh! Okay. Okay. It's gonna be fine. Everything's gonna be fine. Everything's gonna be just fine. Ah. So,
That's rough, buddy.
Runa,
Yes. While I try to take the crown out. Yes.
that still does not explain why you have the crown, Runa.
It's okay. She didn't steal it. I gave it to her. She was
Why?
the winner of the contest.
I think it was because
She's
she
the winner of the
wouldn't.
night market.
I think I remember she wouldn't stop crying really loud and awkward.
I don't remember
I
that.
remember that
sorry.
too.
I don't remember that.
Gorf, do tell. Gorf, yes.
So,
No, actually.
the first thing was, Ruda was trying to pick a fight with anyone that had any kind of elf cosplay, especially Drow. I think she hit a couple of them. I had to like pick her up, and then when we wouldn't let her fight anyone, she just sat on the ground and started sobbing in the middle of all these people. And still, I seem to remember thought to give her the crown, and then she kind of like 180'd and like started skipping around with the crown and declared herself the queen of the night market, and we just kind of let it happen. And then she kind of was calm-ish after that, but
Wait, so something happened with one of the merchants and Gruna?
Well,
Something having to do with quote-unquote being the queen of the night market.
you see,
Does
there
anyone
were
remember what that was all about?
there were lots of illusions going off at that point. She was really getting into her role.
we started making decrees.
Yes,
Oh.
she summoned an imaginary court with her and was patrolling, and she bumped into this this market stall, and the person was not happy at all, but you know, she decreed off with his head, and
I'm
Gorf
sorry,
was
she
there.
what?
I tried to stop her, but she just insisted on trying to cut. She didn't have anything sharp, mind you,
So
but she.
we pretended to cut off his head just so she'd stop yelling.
The
Yeah,
description that I got from the merchant was a little more explicit,
I'm sure.
Yeah, probably.
having something to do with a big bear shoving him onto the ground.
Oh,
And
you did that for me,
holding-
Gorf? Thanks.
I mean, I was
I mean,
I was
I'm so disappointed
apologizing the whole
myself.
time. Maybe you couldn't hear over his own crying, but
Yeah, that
Oh,
checks
actually-
out.
Now that I'm thinking,
Something-
I think Gorf was crying too. If I remember correctly, I think they were
Alright,
both crying, and it
I'm
was
sorry.
just sad.
Can we get back to the market stall, please?
Right.
There was a claim that several items went missing during this altercation. Do any of you know anything about that? Now,
not at all.
mind you,
Oh,
the merchant sells very fine liquors.
hmm.
I look at Ithiel.
Athul's already checking his pockets. Like, what?
Now,
First
Athul,
of all of
if you
you
come out-
shut up and congratulate Ace Train for following us.
Ace Train,
Ugh.
you are the
Woo!
best of
Now-
Thank you
all
very
the
much.
guests.
Safe train.
oh,
Thank
shoot.
you.
Now,
Okay.
Ithul,
I guess
I am looking.
Hold on, I gotta be
What?
logged in for this to get alerts. Hold on, because we didn't get an alert like I
Oh, you're
set
doing
up.
the thing, the alert, yeah.
Listen to me. Which one of you took them?
I will look to my.
None of you know where it went. Oh, everybody, search your tents. If you find a gold and crystal decanter in there, we know it was you, and I would like it back.
Please don't let it be me. Please don't let it be me. Please don't let it be me. As I go to my tent, please don't let it be me. Please don't let it be me.
Listen, Corton, I don't think all of that is necessary. You know, why don't we just apologize and say it was lost it was a big party. I mean, come on. Anybody could have taken it. Why did it have to be us?
Actually, I mean, I only
Let
tried
me
to catch
see
it
your
there.
tent, you little mouse bastard.
Okay, of course. It's right here. There's the tent. Beautiful on its side.
Oh man,
And looky,
we got an early morning
Looky.
push-up request.
we sure
Oh,
do.
no.
Hold on,
Who
just
is
a
it?
moment.
Oh,
Hold on. You listen
out,
to
time
me. Get over here. Why is Ithul's robe and the crystal decanter in your tent?
Is
Well,
that even possible with that difference
It-
of?
we were
took my
sharing a
robe?
drink. You know, he really wanted it. We had walked past earlier, and he said
Did you
he'd
really
mentioned
need the drink?
he'd mentioned that he really wanted it. So I asked for it as the king of fools, and he didn't want to give us any.
That
So
is correct. The merchant
all
said
right.
no. He just said absolutely not. And then apparently had his face shoved in the ground and had people miming cutting his head off while one of you stole his liquor.
Listen, that
Now I remember.
that's-
That was. I mean, horrible.
separate events,
Horrible.
completely separate events. I don't even know why you're putting them together. That's just
Ah, you know what? Both of you.
what?
Push-ups.
Ah,
That's right, Felix and Athul.
Smooth
Each of
transition.
you 20 push-ups right now.
it's gonna be really hard with my laptop, but you'll see.
I see you're a fat little mouse. Let's see if you can get off the ground.
Oh yeah,
Okay,
so
that's
fat.
not personal. You can call me fat, but a mouse.
See me?
I can see your pajama bottoms.
Oh yeah.
All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14,
Why?
15,
That's just showing off.
16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Yay! With
Could you
the
imagine actually
clap.
Burton now cheering up like, okay, I'm fine
Ow.
now. You did your push-ups.
I want you to know that my bones were clicking on every push-up, so that's
I know
That's
your
you
pain, buddy.
That's-
Your mouth should be like
Clicky
super
bones.
light. Should be easy.
yep.
Thanks for the push-ups.
It was Jibo.
And
So-
thanks
The
to
fool's just
Tasha for
glaring at
following.
Felix.
Listen, I'm not the alcoholic, and I'll just turn back at him. It's Mr. Soft Hands. Ugh.
I'm sorry. What? Oh my god! Oh my god!
Soft hands. Ugh. Sorry.
So,
They are
where is
quite
the
soft.
decanter now? Go
Anyway.
get it. Bring it to me.
Here.
Isn't the decanter like bigger than you? How did you do that?
There is none left.
Of course, we drank it all. What do you?
Oh, that's
You said you wanted the decanter, not the contents. Listen, if you want the contents to wait a couple more minutes, I'll have it back for you. But
The fool just kind of glares deeper.
I don't think.
There was a reason this decanter was in a locked glass case.
I mean, was it locked? I don't remember that.
That is
On a
because
shelf.
it is a decanter of fire flower whiskey
How are you not dead?
that has been aged for over 100 years. It's worth
Oh.
4,000 gold pieces.
Then why
So we
was it
shouldn't have done.
on someone's
We didn't have
cart?
done shots. We did shots. We didn't sip it. We just, oof. Oh.
How are you alive? There are two new Reapers now?
The merchant tent that you went to belonged to the merchant prince of commerce.
Wait, did we pantomime his beheading? Was that the person we did that to?
Ooh. Yeah. But I mean,
Can
I'm sure
anyone
it has
tell
a sense
me?
of humor. That was funny, isn't it? Like, oh, I'm the queen, and here's my card, and oh, you're getting beheaded. Woo, yes.
There was some clapping. I think
But
I think it was a good show.
He might not have been too popular.
Yeah.
Can anyone explain to me what happened after
Well,
this? What happened to the merchant?
I think I picked him up and dusted him off and
oh yeah, Gorf picked him up all right.
Did-
I can recall that.
Oh no. Oh no.
Yeah.
I mean, we had him on
Yeah.
the ground.
I think you actually said, I'm gonna do the throwing the dwarvish man. It's like a sport or something you said.
Is that it?
You
Did
the
you try to
record.
toss a dwarf? Oh my god. Oh my god.
Yeah, I think we tried to do a contest. I lost.
Yeah, I mean, he was rather small for a dwarf.
That's because he's a halfling, you bastards.
Oh!
I think we were
that
wondering
explains
why he didn't
it.
have a beard.
Then
There
that's
you
cheating,
go.
dwarf. That doesn't count if it's not a dwarf. I
you
mean,
go.
I'm so sorry about that.
His name is Metz.
Metz.
Oh,
Metz what?
I think we confused him for Hobby Lobby and the yeah.
You bear hugged him.
Yeah. Well,
I was wondering why he
Apparently-
didn't recognize me.
Mhm.
You wore a costume. Maybe he thought it was an
Threw
owl after
him.
all.
Threw him into an entire group of people, apparently. I was wondering how the Merchant Prince of Commerce ended up being launched at the contingent from Balend.
Oh, right. That's when that happened.
I
Yeah.
definitely
Yeah.
thought he was Hobby Lobby Louse.
So
Actually,
you decided to
quite
throw
a good
him
name.
at your father?
Talking about daddy issues, huh?
Like
Yeah.
catch.
Oh my god!
Oh, yeah.
Thule just takes a sip of his flask.
Ethel,
Wait, that's where the rest of the
What?
flower
can you
whiskey
please
went.
I'm gonna be shunned
can you
forever.
please explain to me, Ethel, why the mothers, the most powerful mafiosos in the continent, want to have a meeting with me and my quote-unquote band of ill-mannered idiots.
He kind of
Probably-
glances over at the rest of the group. I don't know.
I mean,
It's me.
maybe they are referring to the hunters. We're not the only one here.
That's true. Those hunter guys.
Yeah, they
Ill-mannered,
always
I
mess
hear.
up. Yeah, I don't think
Yeah.
it was us, actually.
No,
I hear
no,
they have
that
a very
wasn't
dumb dwarf.
Yes.
that wasn't you that were dressed up as a mind flayer, a racist owl, a reaper.
How dare they?
Hey,
Stealing
hey,
our costumes?
Someone
Why?
They're
dragging,
racing on those
Dressed as a
hunters?
reaper?
Oh, come on.
literally.
One of you dressed as a reaper? That's so nice of you. Oh, he's talking about me, sorry.
Couldn't have been
Yeah.
us. Couldn't have been us.
And an orcish woman dragging the remains of a mechanical costume behind her
Hmm.
all
I
night
mean,
long.
We did
That's
tell
racist.
we did tell her to
You
leave
see
it.
a Nork and it has to be me? With a spider costume? Could be anyone from Nanket.
That's true.
You know,
it could have
between-
been any number of the escaped orcs from Nanket who were dressed up as Lord last night.
Of course, I mean, between
See,
war and
we're on the
war,
same
between
page.
reclaiming territories, they could have... Yeah, probably it was me.
Actually, I remember there was a point of the night where I used my mask to look as Bruna, so it might have been me as well.
Why did you do
Ah.
that?
You asked me to,
Oh my
and you
God.
dressed up as me.
Oh my god!
Oh,
my
yeah!
god!
I remember.
I remember.
That was
I
fun.
remember.
I think I got 3 declarations of love. You're really popular now.
I remember
I'm married.
Athul was chasing down and sliming on what at the time we thought were children, but they might have been full-grown mice. They're kind of small.
Oh my
We do get
god!
confused for children a lot.
I think he was
That's
saying
true.
Oh
"duck,
my
duck,
God.
goose." Come to think of it, they kind of
Let me explain that.
were.
Wait,
Oh,
Garuna,
no.
didn't you get that thing from the Nikki?
What do you mean?
Mikey.
Mikey!
Yes.
No. Felix got his from
Uh,
Mike.
clearly, I'm not drunk enough yet, but yes, you know what I mean.
You guys don't know that, though.
Well, you
I'm
told
sorry.
us afterwards.
Hold on.
Yeah, don't lie at that.
What you are telling me is that after you threw one of the rulers of merchantry at one of the rulers of Balland,
Mm.
mistaking him for a pirate,
Mhm.
Ethul then started pretending to eat the brains of the mothers.
Pretending, isn't it? You didn't actually.
Yeah.
right? I mean, I know that human players.
Well, there are lots of us. You know.
I think at
And you did
first,
nothing to stop this, Felix?
I was a little busy, okay? You know, we had a couple people
Yeah,
in
throbbing
our
a golden
group
decanter.
with that
Oh
too.
my god!
We had a couple people in our group that were a little bit sad after some of the situations that happened. I remember I wanted to use my power as the king of fools, and I took my friends out to party, you know? What they got into, not my fault. Gorf, you know, after throwing the person at his father, I took him out for some drinks, and he found another person, not a bear folk, just another hairy person, and he started following him around and calling him father, and crying and being like, I just want to make you proud, Dad, and you know, it was really sad, but it was
I
kind of
got
sweet at the
some-
same time.
I'm convinced it was. I don't. You saying it wasn't? That wasn't
No,
my
Gorf, I
father.
got something to confess.
I don't think so, Gorf.
Actually, and I do this guy's self. I just wanted to see you cry. So bad. I'm
Yes.
sorry.
Are you saying it was just a hairy man that was following?
It was just a
I mean,
hairy man you were
only
following
saw
around.
your father like a little bit, so I tried to reproduce it as good as I could. Yeah. I don't know if then you just followed another man. I mean, you were quite emotional.
We saw you
And then
too,
it's
Bruno,
me.
but he was really hugging up on this guy. Like,
Listen,
I don't remember that.
crying about, you don't hug me enough. It was... I don't know.
We will get to Gorf molesting a random person.
It's...
First, though, I need to find out why the mothers are after me. We have now figured out why the merchant prince is threatening to shut down the mine. We know,
Need the money.
we know why the merchant is threatening to hire assassins.
Isn't that fun? I've never had assassins hired for me before.
You
Well,
haven't?
I need to know what's going on with the
Gil, you
damn
have?
mustard.
I did. I had one.
The fool is using his tongue to check his teeth for brain bits.
Like,
You missed it a little bit.
yeah, I think we're good.
Yeah, didn't you say you feel actually that you really like mouse brains because they were like small snacks?
Oh my god. Oh my god.
I
No,
don't know if you
I
were
don't think
kidding,
it
but
was
it was
that.
very
As I
good,
know,
actually.
I seem to remember
As
him
far as I
shouting that
know-
at the top of his lungs as he chased them.
As far as I know, all of the mothers are still alive.
Hmm.
Thank goodness. In their letter, what they reference is the fact that one of our mouse folk, I don't know which of the one mouse folk it
There's
might
so
be,
many of us. So many.
but
Oh yeah, sure.
why he was standing there laughing at the mothers as they were screaming in terror while the rest of the Balland contingent tried to get a mind flayer off of them.
Well, you see, now that just feels like, you know, a topic in and of itself. They should really worry about security. If the mob bosses are that easy to approach, they should really do something about that.
I don't think that was it, honestly. It
I'm
had to have
honestly
been something else.
surprised.
I mean, I remember Felix saying, "Don't worry, I had this under control. They really love me."
Yeah.
I guess I don't know.
Mhm.
I'm honestly surprised none of the Untamed tried to kill a fool. I mean, if anyone could recognize an actual mind flare, it'd be them.
So that is another issue.
Oh, do you
that
guys
we
think it could have
need-
been the thing with the lanterns? Do you
to
remember
piss
we set off the
off.
lanterns, and then they hit the
Oh, yeah. And then they caught the tree on fire.
yeah, the tree, which then caught the house on fire, and the house had meetings in it or something.
It didn't just have meetings, quote unquote, meetings in it. It was the courthouse.
Oh
my God.
That explains the guards.
That's why
That
they were.
explains the guards.
Yes.
That's why
Yeah.
they didn't like me peeing on the fire.
Oh
Yeah.
my God. Oh my
I didn't know that
God.
actually their piece was flammable.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
why would they make these buildings so flammable? That's
Oh,
their
yeah.
fault.
Or
Bricks are a thing.
Not get invented though.
that was not a tree. That was Garen Hammerlight, who is the merchant prince of religion,
Lots
Who
of
was
merchant princes showed up
attempting-
today.
to
I
put
mean-
out the fire, who had just come running out of the building, carrying 3 people who almost died. And you then peed on his leg.
I mean, Kortsan, don't king shame. He may be into that.
That's
He
true,
did put
Corton.
out the
You
fire
can't
on
do
his
that.
leg.
Yeah.
Enough out of you, Gruna.
It definitely put out the fire, though.
It's true.
Wait, people enjoy that?
I've been drinking a lot, so
Hmm
I mean,
We were well
that's
hydrated,
disgusting.
Corton. That's the important part.
it was very clear.
Hmm
So,
yeah.
Corton, what were you doing for this event? You weren't there?
I was there.
Really?
I was at the palace, having a lovely time. Until things started getting completely out of hand, and I was required to come down to the festival to collect all of you. I convinced everyone to calm down, to sleep on it. But I did manage to collect 13 different, very strongly worded letters to me this morning from various people. So,
Wait, sorry, that's 14. One of them gave one to me.
Oh, yes. Personally, yes.
Oh yeah, and I think it was also the dedicatory was with a heart. I think.
Mm.
the what? Speak up, Gruna.
I mean, I remember someone giving a letter to Deal, but I thought it was, I don't know, an admirer or something because there was a heart in the
That's
letter.
what I thought.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen, everybody was flirting with Dill that night, you know. The letters going to him, it was just normal, you know?
Oh yeah, girls love lengthy, skinny, bony-looking boys. I get
Yes.
it.
What did the heart look like exactly?
I don't know. It was really well shaped, kind of flaming. It was like not actually drawn, but also almost like into the paper, like.
It looked like
No?
an actual
Did
heart.
it have a dagger through it? Did the
Mm.
heart have a dagger through it?
I don't know.
Yeah,
Can I
it
take a
did.
look at the letter? Oh, yeah, it does.
Yeah. But that
Didn't
was
she try to get you to sign it still? That was weird, right? Like, get
Oh,
your
yeah.
autograph?
Tell me you did
I have
not
a lot of
sign that
letters.
bill.
Did you
Tell
sign
me
that
you
one?
did not sign that.
There were a lot of autographs going around, very famous, you know, hard to keep track.
Ah, yes.
Did you show me the piece of paper? Let me see it right now.
Let me find you.
Oh no, it's a time freeze, of course.
It
Dill
is
turned into a robot.
no. This symbol is the symbol of a group known as the Undertakers.
Hmm.
Oh.
They are one of the best clans of assassins on the continent,
Oh.
and they just recruited you.
just still.
I mean, makes our job easier.
Ha.
Killed him and then you send him to the. Yeah, I should shut up.
Are you sad they didn't invite you too, Gorf?
I mean, a little.
I mean, Gorf is quite effective at killing, but then not running away from that killing. It would be quite
Right,
obvious.
but
Yeah,
he's
I mean,
not exactly a
not really
spokesperson for
an
death.
assassin.
So.
Oh, and I just want to shout out to Foot Loot.
Loot.
Contributed
Loot.
744 points to our goal for the Patrick Planet map. Thank you for that.
Yay!
Let's go.
Yeah.
Now,
If we're still alive, because it was a crazy night.
Obviously, Dill, you have not read the letter, because this is a letter. It is an assignment that you have accepted by signing it. And it is the assignment to do grievous bodily harm to Felix because he stole the decanter.
That's
Good
pretty
times.
I'm sorry,
fast
I can't-
turnaround.
I can read everything, but I can't read this.
Deal, honey.
Oh,
That's because
That
it is
is-
done in a cipher.
Hmm. Are you sure you read it right? Are you sure it didn't
Yes.
say
Yes,
gracious
I did.
godly charm? I feel like it said gracious godly charm. That's what I'm getting from this.
Yeah, sure. I mean,
Do you notice
got
how
your-
the flame is decreasing on the heart?
What's the payout?
Yeah.
Sadly, because Reapers know nothing of contracts, and because he was incredibly drunk last night, it looks like the payout for the contract is to be released from the contract.
Boo.
that's not a good deal. Even I know more.
No.
Yeah, I mean that was pretty.
No,
fresh.
it
They
is
finished
not.
screwed up by contracts before. Let me tell you that.
But do you see how the flame is getting smaller?
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, is that
It means you have 24 hours to carry out the sentence.
Or
And
what?
otherwise, if he doesn't do it,
Bull does a double take.
If he does not do it, he dies.
Oh,
That is
no.
why the Undertakers
Ah.
are. That is
Oh,
why the
man.
Undertakers are considered the most amazing assassins
Did
on
they
the
know?
continent.
Did they
Yeah,
know
one
they
thing-
Because
gave a
if
contract?
they
to
do
Beth?
not succeed in their contract, they die.
but can a Reaper
Did
die
they-
again? Like super die?
Did they
It's like
know
super
he was a
death.
Reaper? Or they just think he's a Reaper cosplayer.
Yes.
Is he-
So who knows what's going to happen?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Can you die,
mean,
Dill?
I mean, 1,000 years is a lot of years. If it's the end, I guess that. Hey,
Good know when you do.
Good life.
I have no fear of death. It would be disappointing.
Can anybody raise a
but
zombie?
it's inevitable.
I
Raise-
mean,
raise
did it say you had to kill him? I mean, I just heard grievous bodily harm. I
Grievous
mean, we
bodily
could do that
harm.
without killing him.
I can speak with the dead in a bad circumstance. We can always have you by our side.
We could just have Felix lay up for a couple
Contract-
weeks.
The
After we
contract specifically states Dill must ensure that this mouse folk is never able to steal anything again.
Ah.
Mm. Well, then
Felix,
kill him.
can
I don't
I-
think you're gonna get anything if you don't kill him. He's gonna steal again. We know that.
Maybe
No,
I
you
can just persuade
don't.
him. I feel like
Hmm. Was it really stealing? Stealing.
Oh yeah,
Stealing.
I
We-
think it was.
we
stealing.
could alter his definition of what stealing is.
Hmm.
I mean, you can try and you can watch Dill die.
I mean,
He'll die.
he's already
Hmm.
dead.
I mean, it's at least scientifically interesting to know.
What
how
did you
he
just
died.
say? Did you just talk back to me? Gore.
it's true. I am dead.
I guess technically
Well,
No, wait,
odd
did it
at
say?
least.
I'm confused by this contract.
hate you all so much right now.
Did it say bodily harm
That's
or
fair.
can't steal anymore? Because that doesn't quite add up.
Those are two different things.
Yeah, those are two different
It
things.
stipulates that it can be done, that he has to stop stealing, and then gives a list of any number of ways that could be accomplished, including cutting your hands and feet off,
Okay.
murdering you,
Mhm.
putting
Nah,
you,
that's not the
imprisoning
one.
you forever. These are
Eye-
all various
eyeballs.
options.
Eyeballs and hands and feet.
Wait, let me see that. Tail, toenails, claws,
Yes.
whiskers. Oof. Yeah,
Basically,
ouch.
remove
If
your
you-
ability to pick up anything.
So Felix, you see Corton cast a little spell and go like this, and Bigby's hands smacks you across the field.
I just tumble and roll the whole way.
As that happens,
Can I see if I'm knocked out?
and you are not knocked out, you're still
Dang
We
very
need
much
you.
awake.
We still need you.
Okay.
But as you are rolling, you were surprised and dropped the letter, which is still floating in the air. And Corton walks up to it, plucks it out of the air, looks at you and says, "Don't ever touch my things."
That's
And
fair.
puts it in his
Okay.
pocket.
Have you tried, Felix? I have an idea. Have you tried saying sorry Like,
Sorry.
from
We
the
are
heart?
we are well past sorry. So,
Mm, that's not the way it
you
is.
managed to first terrify all of the children, make us look racist in front of all of the other countries,
That wasn't my bad.
That's
steal
on
a
me.
$4,000 bottle of liquor
That
from
was bad.
the merchant prince of merchantry, then throw the merchant prince of merchantry at the delegation from Balland,
To be fair,
I
he
really
did.
don't know why.
then
He did catch him.
pretend to eat the brains of the mothers while a mouse folk in my employ stood aside and laughed. Then Gorf began crying on everyone, following someone around, demanding fatherly affection from them, right before you set the courthouse on fire and peed on another one of the merchant princes.
I
Yeah,
mean,
that checks out.
I look like a saint in comparison with all of that. I only did like a few things.
I feel like this is really unfair to me. I mean, I wasn't the one that threw him.
You went around bonking everyone that had an elf costume on.
I don't remember that. I don't think so.
You started doing what?
She found a scepter from somewhere. I think it was a chair leg. Called it her scepter. And anyone that even remotely looked like an elf, she was bonking them on the head and saying stuff about.
I mean, I was into
Elf or
character. I
something.
was Lolth, sovereign of Drow and Elf. Of course, I had to do that.
She tried to recruit handmaidens from the Drow cosplayers.
A queen needs handmaidens. Yeah.
It's kind of got a little out of hand.
Corton,
I
how
mean,
about
I
this?
was acting. I was joking. Everybody knew that. They were laughing, I think.
They didn't know that, Bruna. They thought there was an invasion by the Drow because you kept dressing everybody up and doing illusions of Drows. So,
Oh, that explains the guards again.
yes, the guards and, oh my god, and the merchant prince of the military, who is herself an elf who has fought to keep the Drow below the surface.
Oh no, I think I hit
Oh, we
her
got
with
a cheer.
with a
And
scepter.
I accidentally blocked
Oh,
it.
it's
Hold
a
on.
face palm.
Shoot, hold on. No. Fuck.
What happened?
Oh,
we had
wait.
a
the military
facepalm
was
cheer.
there? Oh,
It is well deserved.
Hmm.
So
That explains his scar.
Thanks for the cheer.
That was nasty.
That didn't happen to be the Spear family, did it?
Oh no.
her name is Elduin Enna,
Ah.
but she is friends with the Spear family.
Mm.
And they all try to help put down an active drow invasion in the middle of the night market,
Mm.
which turned out to be mostly illusions, except for several merchants that later told me that a mind flayer had gotten them so drunk they didn't know what they were doing.
Mm.
I mean, I don't want to show off, but if the whole army thought my illusions were actually real, I'm getting better. I mean, I'm so sorry.
That is true. That is true.
Good on ya. Good
So,
job.
Thank you.
Well done, Grun.
Gruna,
Well done.
suddenly Gruna flies up into the air as the gravity around her reverses.
At least it wasn't me this time.
I don't really like heights.
Corton, how about this? Okay, how about I solemnly swear
And
that I will no longer
before
steal.
you can finish that, yet another whap. And you go flying.
At least hear me out first. Dang it!
No, I will not.
I'm in so much pain. I don't think that bone's supposed to be bending that way. Ah.
Bendy
Oh,
bones. I didn't know
Snowflake.
muscles could do that.
So much.
Lines upon forth.
So much.
I would like to hear from Athul. What he was thinking. Going to
Hey, everybody loves a drink
all
every
of
once in a
the
while.
merchants and getting them drunk, and then somehow convincing them to follow you into battle.
That's good charisma. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean,
bad.
that's,
Damn.
You're bad.
that's a bad thing.
I can't even do that when I'm sober. That's actually impressive on my end.
His hands are really soft.
Oh my god, I hate you so much. I hate you so much.
How many of my soldiers survived?
Thankfully, all of them.
Oh,
Because
that's
once again,
I
the
mean-
paladin of Joaquin, the merchant prince of religion, was there to help heal them.
after or before P.
Yes. Did we pee on him?
Oh, there we go. Thanks for the cheer.
Thank you
Yes.
for the cheers, mate.
Gorf did, in fact, pee on the paladin again,
It's a new
thinking
record,
he was a
Gorf.
treat. Just because he wears green and brown armor does not make him a tree, you stupid bear.
Was he?
He was very
Maybe
tall.
not a tree, but
Was he on
an
fire?
atrocious fashion sense. He does have an atrocious fashion sense, though. I do get it.
Was he at least on fire?
That is the stupidest question I've ever heard.
Wait. The whole story we've been telling, and that's the stupidest. You know what? I'm gonna shut up. I don't want to get hit again. I'm not even here. I'm just gonna.
I would like you to know something important. That stupid is about to get real painful, kids.
Hmm.
So,
Wait,
score.
I'm feeling some. Excuse me. Who put a dagger in my back?
How would a dagger stick in your back?
I'm sorry.
Was that before or after the fire? Wait. Hold on.
And was before or after you had to kill Felix?
Was that before or after the signing, and then after the fire?
I mean, we know it was when I wasn't you and you weren't me. That
Yeah.
we know.
Yeah.
Maybe someone tried to stab you, Gruna, and they got me instead.
I think
Oh,
that
I
was
mean-
it. I think it was one of the parents of the kids
Oh my god, what?
who was running around.
Yeah,
They couldn't catch them. They finally caught them, and then they decided to get back at you, and they stabbed our Reaper here.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but I mean, thanks for taking the hit.
Mm.
It's okay. I don't feel pain.
You know what they say? Friends have friends' backs.
Yeah, even when they are stabbed.
Well, that is
Oh.
very fitting.
Yes.
Yeah, actually quite literal.
Is it at least a nice dagger?
If
Ooh, is it? What kind of dagger is it?
it's got that same heart and flame on it, and you see
Did one of the mothers
you
of the
see
children
the-
sign a contract too?
you see the flames start to
Assassins got
reduce.
children too.
And as
If
it
we
does,
kill the assassins first, do they
you
still die?
you sort of watch as this dagger is like the flame gets shorter and shorter, and then when the flame, you see like a little puff of smoke as the flame winks out, and suddenly the dagger is back in Dill's back, and he takes another 1d4 damage. There's-
Oh, I can help you with that.
Where did it go?
I know a new spell. I have dispel magic.
Oh,
I will try
nice.
to get
Where'd it
it
go?
out with dispel magic.
Are you leaking, Dill? If you drink water, would you spill like a faucet?
Okay,
Oh my
Jill,
God.
Should I
do
try?
not move. This spell
you
is
even
new. I
drink
don't know
water?
the consequences of it, okay?
Bruna, you're still floating 100 feet in the air.
Ah, I thought I was back on.
Yeah, no, not yet. No,
Gordon, can
you're
I go
still-
down? I want to help him.
You can shut up. Oh
Okay.
my god.
I mean,
Yeah,
I'm
shut up.
busy.
I just cast silence on Gruna.
So I go over, so Corton goes over to Dill, just whips him around and casts Disintegrate on the dagger, which turns into dust.
Oh,
For the time being, that has now been solved. Listen to me.
Mm.
We have to pull this together. We need to figure out what happened. So, it started with the costume contest, apparently, with
Yeah.
you terrorizing the children in the audience, Garuna. But one of the mothers apparently belongs to the worst order of assassins in the country.
the worst.
The best,
You say
the
worst.
worst, whatever you would like
Oh,
to
God.
call
The
it.
deadliest?
Then she decides to take her revenge for her crying child by stabbing the woman who was pretending to be Lolth, thank you, Gruna, and ended up stabbing our friendly Reaper instead. With a knife that is enchanted so that every time you pull it out, it just goes back into your back. Then apparently you started parading around the area. Dill, somehow with a dagger in his back, managed to seduce one of the Nonketi diplomatic faction
Yeah.
and upset her so much that you might start a war with Nonket at this point. After stealing a map to the hiding place of all of the other Reapers. Then you managed to get over to a merchant tent where you stole a $4,000 bottle of liquor, you picked up the merchant prince of commerce for the entire country and threw him at your father, Gorf, who is a diplomat from another country.
I mean, you did catch him.
Then
No harm, no
our
foul.
lovely little illithid friend over here started pretending to eat the brains of the mafiosos, while one of the mafiosos laughed at his bosses. While Gorf then wandered away to find a person to gain some fatherly affection from, ended up burning down a courthouse, peeing on a paladin. Then Bruna decided to start creating illusions all over the place of drow warriors, which was easier to do because Athul had gotten all the merchants drunk, then sent them into battle against the city guard. And when the paladin came to heal people, Gorf peed on him again. Is that about right?
Sorry, you lost me around seduction. Would you
Did any
repeat
of
that
us
again?
at least get laid?
Apparently, very poorly.
Bummer.
Gorf, did we go to a brothel last night? Is that where we
No.
went for drinks?
No, you called it a brothel, and you called everyone inside whores repeatedly, but
They were beautiful.
that was the mansion of the wife of Alden Arian, who is the merchant prince of Lore, who you have met in the Grand Library.
Mm-hmm.
So he invited you to his home.
They were very
which
lovely.
You called a whorehouse.
I mean, he did have a lot of daughters.
They were
They weren't
gorgeous.
his daughter.
Those brainy types.
They were librarians from across the continent.
They sure were. Oh, man.
I mean, but what's a whore nowadays? It's just colloquial term. I mean, hey, whore, how are you? Yeah, very well, whore. I mean...
Athul just puts his hand on her shoulder and shakes his head.
Oh, God.
I really wanted to say that.
No.
No wonder they were so stuck up.
No.
And yeah, they're
Really?
so conservative in those circles.
They were.
The
Language
worst crime
change
here is
constantly.
that your response time, Corton, is just really awful, honestly. After all of that? And then you come... shutting up again. I'm shutting up again.
Oh yeah, you should. You don't want to be with me here. Up here.
And suddenly, right above the mouse, appears a solid wall of ice about 30 feet up.
Don't hurt me.
And slams down right on his tail.
Gorf, help! Help! It's too heavy! Help! Ah!
And as Gorf attempts to help, suddenly he feels his brain sort of just empty of any intelligence as Corton casts Feeble Mind on him.
Or just
I mean-
slips and falls.
Wow, what a loss. Oh, what are we not going to do without Gorf's brain? Oh my
I'm gonna start
god.
chipping away at the ice.
If you keep Felix there, he won't be able to steal anything at least.
The dagger's already gone, moron. Ah.
But that, I think it was for another thing. The dagger was for me. So I think he still has to
Or
do
starts
you.
like eating the snow.
Thanks, Gorf.
Just like
Well,
Always.
now that
Ah! I'm just
when
gonna
he
cease
had a
breathing.
brain.
I think
He did. He did.
I think I might have a way out of most of this.
Let's make a
For
snow,
us.
snow angel.
Saying what
Starts
Lankelian
giggling. He doesn't even have any pants on.
Angelings that were actually
Just doing a
my
s-
God.
acting
doing
like us.
doing a snow angel. Just giggling.
He's so happy. Can you keep it like that for a while? I think he's having the time of his life.
And Corton is
He had
now
11
just
intelligence. He had 11. Okay. Clear.
so
Fine.
Corton is now just so done with all of you that he first wanders over to Athul, just smacks him hard enough for him to fall down to the ground while grabbing the flask out of his hand. Begins just drinking out of the flask.
See? He's gonna appreciate it too.
Goes over to Dill and says, handle the contract, or I will handle you. And then walks into his tower.
If I don't handle the contract, I won't be left here to be handled by you.
Ooh, I really should stop.
And
That was a good
Dill.
one.
Gorf is now making snowballs and throwing them at people.
Oh my god.
I can't move. I can't dodge you, Gorf. Gorf,
Yeah,
stop.
he's just like, just like throwing right at.
Bah,
You're
bah.
not helping
Like, not even
anymore.
funny.
And
Oh,
then
yes.
just like giggling.
So much
like,
worse, and he's just like, it's starting to hurt.
I'm gonna like try to pick up a stick and be like, here, Gorf, here, and like throw it away from me. Just like,
Oh
oh,
my
go away.
Yes.
I think that's more of a
Gorf-
dog thing,
Gorf-
not a bear.
Gorf, he doesn't care about the stick. He just can keep making snowballs.
I hear bears like honey.
I don't
Oh,
have it.
God.
Do you think I just care? Dill, you just like
What?
kill me already and then get it over with at this point.
Okay. He
So,
summons the scythe and begins to
It's
approach.
irony. Deal is irony.
Alright,
You can't
so
catch
hold,
them.
hold, everyone hold.
Just freeze in place.
We are now about to have a battle to the death between Dill and Felix.
No, if he says something, Dill's gonna stop. He just took it literally because he doesn't
No.
see death like.
No, it's now canon. And battle to the death, folks. It's time.
You know what? I'm just gonna get on my knees. I'll just be like, just kill me. Do it.
We're just
It's
gonna keep hitting him
sarcasm.
with snowballs.
Yeah.
And Dill, what do you do?
Are you sure, Felix? I've never seen anyone this pleased to be killed.
Just make it quick.
Deal. It's
Alright,
sarcasm.
this
Don't
is
do
just
it.
ridiculous.
From like
Yeah,
100
Gorf
feet
Does
normally
Dill
would
do it?
definitely stop, but he's feeble-minded. He doesn't know what's going on.
Feeble-minded. Feeble-minded.
Yeah,
Thank you,
rip.
Taza. Yes.
MVP
Yay.
toss-up.
So Felix gets killed with a scythe.
Wait, did he actually do it?
No, Dill's just standing confused at the situation. He's just looking around at everyone else, like, what's going on? I don't
I'm
understand.
sorry.
It
I'm
feels just
sorry,
like
but
shaking his head.
The people have spoken. Dill, carry out the sentence.
I
And have faith in your dungeon master, please. Carry out the sentence.
If it's gonna be anyone, I'd rather it be you. Snot, just every
Just like Gorf is just, you're the easiest target, so you just can keep pelting
snowballs.
snowballs.
Not.
Not very
Do it,
quickly.
Dill.
Not very quickly, because it takes him a
Do
while to
it.
make one, because he's not very good at it. He's like, and they keep
It's like
coming
half.
They keep coming
half
apart. You just like make a new one, and like every third try, he like makes one that throws.
So
I mean,
Dill,
Felix,
have you done it
I-
yet?
Felix, I would be honored to be the one to perform the ritual on you.
Just shut up and
Right.
kill me.
Just he's begging for it. Do it. Do it, Dill.
Wing!
Sweet.
You killed him.
I'm just dead now. Oh,
Why am I
Do I
getting
roll
back
for
down?
attack?
Well, guys, it was fun.
Dill just killed Felix. And
Gorf
as
continues to throw snowballs at Felix's.
Yeah. because Gorf's just having a great time.
Yeah.
Bruna is
While I'm
still
down.
just floating up in the air.
Gorf is fucking dead. Stop.
And- Corton comes striding out, holding a little stone. And
Oh, that's
Balmir comes out after him. Thank you, Balmir. That will do. And what you see is a little
problem.
picture, a little scene captured in an illusion on this stone of Dill killing Felix. Corton steps out. He says, I think this should do to deal with the contract. Now, Tara.
A
And
lot of these idiots, I'm just gonna leave.
You hunters know nothing.
so Tara, so a woman
Or if it's gonna
suddenly
hit him with a
shows
snowball as he walks by, or as he walks away. Pelt him in the back of the
You big ugly bear.
head.
So, suddenly, after Corton calls out the name Tara, you see this woman who Bruna knows because
Yeah.
she helped her.
Hi,
You all
Tara.
did. She's the same woman that was in Peregrine's place with only the sheet on when you guys went to the night market. And she steps out of her invisibility and looks over, steps over to Felix, sort of like grabs his head and sort of puts it like back on his body a little bit, and then immediately casts Raise Dead on him. And it's just like, here we are. Anything else, Corton, dear? Do you need
Wait, so
anything delightful?
I'm not dead?
You are not dead.
Oh my god, it was horrible.
Snowball to the face.
Could you imagine having to deal with him from the other side?
Listen,
Thank God he's not dead.
Then Tara steps over to Felix and gives him a little kiss on the cheek, and you can see it actually like burns his fur a little bit and then immediately heals itself so that he now has a very light scar of her perfect lips on his cheek.
Gorf will turn to her and like go, because he sees her kiss.
That's the nearest you're gonna get to get laid, bitch.
What's this, Corton? Is he trying to say something? And Corton just looks at him like, as much as he ever says. Ugh.
I agree.
And she, then, if you don't need me for anything else, Corton, I think I'll get to work on that job that we discussed. And Corton waves her away and says, yes, love, I will see you soon.
Felix is still
And
just
she wanders
full
off.
crying. Just full crying.
No.
Just like in the middle of
Welcome
your
back,
sobs.
Felix.
Gorf just is because they just hit you with a snowball every once in a while. As
Make an attack roll,
many as you
snowball.
can make them. Right in the face.
So, I think that that is actually a good place to stop for this adventure, as we discuss what's going to happen for the next month with these guys. So there
Not
is.
getting back down or what? Corton? Corton!
He's gonna be there for the rest of the month.
Did she just fall? Did she just
Fine.
fall?
No, he casts Featherfall on her and then releases her.
I'll be right back. I'm gonna use the restroom. I'll be right back.
No,
I'm gonna attack you.
no.
Kill him!
We are you
Okay.
really? We're in the
Okay.
middle of a stream.
Stella.
We're in the middle of a stream. Oh my god, you're killing me.
Still.
Why are you trying to ruin my life?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Gorf has eaten a lot of snow.
Let us know.
So, let's recap what happened last night. So there was a fabulous costume contest. Dill won. He got his crown. Gruna terrified everybody in the audience, so much so that one of the mothers tried to stab her even after her costume had been destroyed, and she was sitting there crying as Dill was trying to comfort her. The woman tried to stab her, and instead stabbed Dill in the back with an assassin's dagger.
That's right.
Then, Runa started collecting people as an army to do things, which created a pretty major distraction. But in the meantime, she also went over to the merchant prince of commerce and demanded that he bow down before her. Gorf forced him into the mud on the ground while Felix stole his prized liquor.
And then pantomime
And then-
cutting off his head.
Drank it with Thule. While all this is happening, Dill
Yep.
has gone on to seduce one of the Non-Keti faction and steal a map to the place where all of the other Reapers are. He then rejoins his friends in time to see the merchant prince of commerce being thrown at Gorf's father, the diplomat from Baland, while he is with all of his friends.
That's gonna be rough to
And-
explain, buddy.
Ithul, drunk
Oh,
on
no.
fireflower brandy, attempts to eat the brains of the various mothers who are the heads of the mafias across the continent. While Felix, who is part of their family, laughs at them as they are screaming in terror.
They were
Then-
going to-
Gruna demands more people join her army. She then marches over to the court, sets fire to one of the trees. The paladin has to come out, save everyone, put out the fire in the courthouse as Corton is peeing on his leg. Or not,
Gorf.
sorry, as Gorf.
Because I
As
said,
Gorf
you know
is
what?
bleeding
No,
This
it's
already
canon
went on.
now,
Let me
too
join.
late. It's
Let me
canon.
join.
Then you all managed to leave that area somehow. My guess is because the paladin is still trying to save people from the burning building. And you head over to the town guard where Gruna decides, as Lulth, she's going to take over the city and sends the merchants in to destroy them, who have become drunk because Ithul kept giving them fireflower brandy. So, while they are puking and crapping themselves, they are fighting the town guard and getting their asses beat. And then, when everything gets sorted out and everything is calmed down, of a sudden, Gorf decides to pee on the paladin's leg. Again. Then you all went to the merchant prince of Lore's house, which you had been invited to earlier in the evening, called it a whorehouse, called all of his family members whores, and then demanded that you be fed all of the best wine. And as
And
Corton
sausages.
finally managed to figure out where you were and get there, he sees as 4 merchant princes are attempting to have you arrested for the things that you have done. Corton intercedes,
That's fair.
tells them everything will be fine, that he will handle it, and then transports all of you back to the camp.
Well, that's one way to put it, yeah.
That's definitely someone's accounting of the events. Yes.
Yeah.
I mean,
So now,
what
Certain
is
point
he
of
for
view.
You forgot
Yeah.
Gorf chasing around a hairy man thinking he was his dad.
oh, yeah,
Yes.
that, sir, was the paladin. That was the
Oh.
merchant prince of religion.
It's very
true. I
hairy
really like him,
for a
huh?
paladin.
He does have fur pauldrons, but that's it. There's
The confusion
So-
makes sense.
So now, Felix, what are you going to do to fix the situation with the merchant prince of commerce?
I'm just like fully like shaking, like, yeah, I knew you were gonna bring me back from the dead. Yeah, totally. Merchant Prison Commerce. Yeah, cool guy. That guy. I don't know. What did he want?
My guess is money, since you stole something very valuable from him. Or if you can replace the Fireflower brandy and age it 100 years somehow.
100 years? Oof. How about I go and play at his stores and bring in more customers on weekends? That sounds fine with me. No, not going for it.
It's like the laziest, most half-assed.
Like for half an hour or so. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, I'm
Yeah,
very
I'm
busy, so I'll
busy.
have to get back to it later. But maybe can I pay an
I want
installment?
you to
Can I pay an
look
installment?
at my face.
You're very beautiful.
Do I
very
look
gorgeous?
amused?
It's very attractive, Corton. Seeing you in this light, wow.
And smack. And you go flying again. This time you come back limping. You've taken a lot of damage
Good one.
at this
Well, I've
point. You have
died
been hurt
already.
a lot. So Felix, let me tell you what you will do. Since
Awesome.
that smart mouth of yours has gotten us into more trouble than you know.
Do you think I'm smart?
You are going to know. I said your
You never
smart
said that.
mouth. You
Oh,
yourself
sorry.
are an idiot,
That's true.
obviously.
This is
As
true.
are all of your friends.
Mm, That's
Now,
a bit harsh. Gruna, you know what? Never mind. That's fair.
I think
Hey,
What
Thule
we're
is
going
pretty
to-
smart.
Gorf has
If you are
gone
going
back
to
to making
go-
snow angels.
you are going to find out what the merchant prince wants, and you're going to give it to him.
Sounds like a quest. Let's do it, gang. All of us together. How about it?
oh no, I'm not going there.
Come
Yeah,
on.
no, you're doing this all on your own.
Oh,
You messed up
Bruna.
the thing.
gosh dang it.
first
I'll
person-
do it.
Gorf, you are going to have to make amends with your father.
Gorf hears his name and he looks up and he's like, he's still feeble-minded. He's still
He
feeble-minded.
dismisses feeble mind. And it's like, Gorf,
he's like
Your
dude, he's
job.
like mid snow angel. Whoa. Heads up.
Having some fun. Come on, don't act so surprised.
Hey,
Your
Gorf, welcome
job
back.
is
I
to-
died. That was fun.
You died?
You did
Yeah,
ask
I thought you
me,
fell asleep.
I didn't think you were actually going to do it, man. Dang it.
No.
Now, Gorf, you are going to need to make amends with your father and repair diplomatic relations between Delver's Dream and your whole country.
Yeah, that checks out.
Ithul, you are going to have to, I'm guessing, do several favors for the mothers to make up for the horrors that you perpetrated on them.
Yikes.
Dill, you are going to have to come up with some way to calm the non-Ketty down.
Good luck, buddy. I know those.
And Gruna, you are going to have to deal with this situation with an entire apparent assassin's guild wanting to murder us.
Do you think
In
if
the
I do like
meantime, Gerdwald is going to have to answer for the fact that he tried to convert literally every one of the priests to Helm. So he's going to have to make amends to the paladin, who is the Prince of Religion.
That was really nice, actually. He had like flyers made somehow. It was great.
Shut your stupid mouth.
I don't
This
know
is
how,
up here.
Corton, at this point.
It's a condition.
No.
You think I would have learned my lesson, but I didn't.
Well, thank you for stopping by, Snowflake.
Bye, Snowflake.
Now
I
that we have determined what happened, it is now going to be time to figure out what happens over the next month in game time. Hello, Bearded Viking. Oh, you missed a lot.
Oh,
You
man.
missed
yeah.
a lot.
So
it was a
much.
crazy
Oh,
night.
So
You're
much.
definitely gonna need to. You're gonna need to like catch up on the stream on that one.
Yeah.
There's a lot of.
It
There's a
was
lot of
basically
canon.
like a
just
hangover
happened.
night. Like think
Yeah.
about like all the crazy
We
stuff
were
that
just
happened.
playing through The Hangover.
Yeah, we're
We also, in addition to that, have gotten our brand new bits winner. The person that has contributed the most bits is now Taza.
yeah MVP.
Thank you very much.
Oh, my bits.
sorry. No worries, man. Thanks for stopping by at least.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
So there's oh yeah. Well, if there are more push-ups to be had, then
mainly Gorf pissing. There was a lot of Gorf pissing on people.
Yeah,
for sure.
It was very upsetting, but he
Yeah.
is a bear, so
And eating people, and crying on people,
both.
and all of the above.
Yes. So now,
A lot of fluids
The
going
things-
around.
so you all have done a whole lot of things over. Will have done a whole lot of things over the next month. But now you're going to have to incorporate making amends into that whole thing. All right. So I want you all to think about all the crazy stuff that you did, who you have to make amends to, and how you're going to do it. And we are going to.
Yeah, wizard.
Oh, Wizard.
I'm gonna get number
Wizard's
one
trying
again.
to take first place. He's got first place on the subs. He's trying
There
to
you go.
take first place from Taza.
Did
Yeah,
That's
he
right,
is.
he still beat you. He still beat
Oh,
you.
he's taunting you.
How many does he
is.
have?
He is.
More
I
than you.
mean, you died, dude.
I
That's
think
who
I
you are
straight
now.
got killed.
You're the guy that died. It's-
It's in the chat. You can hit the side thing. Taza's got 300. You got 200.
Oh,
And
I
then we
got
got-
this.
Hyelius is 100. I got it.
I got this
Watch it.
one.
Oh yes, so you've got, and what we do, Wizard Magic is still the ruler of the subs.
The
So-
gifted subs. He is top gifted subs. for sure.
The ruler.
Yes,
And
gifted
for those of you who
subs.
don't know, Wizard Magic is also
It's
Felix.
that boy over here. Well, I don't know
Yeah.
where it is.
Hello.
It's over here. This one.
Oh, my lord.
Wow!
Okay, well,
thank you.
Okay, man. Calm
Congratulations,
down
dude.
in there.
She said, "Nah, I ain't no listening to
No,
that."
no, not in my house.
Think you know. Think you know.
How dare you even trying?
Yeah, no, that was definitely. And
Dumping
from,
salt.
Taz. Rude.
randomly, just from seemingly out of nowhere, from out of the multiverse, a giant hand just smacks you down.
Again.
It's
Just hits you in the face.
the hand of capitalism.
So yes, but you all, so now you're gonna have to figure out exactly what's going on. So I want you to think about that for next week. Figure out how you're gonna fix all the shit that you broke. Okay?
Oh,
Gorf-
that does count having to
Gorf pissed on so
amend
many
with,
people.
with a full
Oh
army.
my God.
Oh, son.
What?
Oh my god!
the fuck you're doing?
This is out of
God
control.
damn.
What?
This is ridiculous. Oh my god. Oh my god. There is.
I mean, we're not gonna say no, but jeez.
That's
Stop it.
fabulous. That's fabulous. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Listen, for me, this is an investment to cool, like, gameplay and stuff, so...
yeah. Let me call you an investor. Let me see some tips and tricks.
Yes,
Yeah.
clearly showed you really well. Great
Oh
master.
damn! Oh
Are
my
you
god!
kidding me? Come on, dude.
Hopefully
Yeah,
that
it is
will do it.
just it's a cosmic bitch fight right now.
It's-
Just
It really
yeah.
is.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know what?
slap, 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 slap.
I-
Slap, slap,
I
slap.
give it to
Hopefully.
you. You
Bow your
know,
head.
yeah,
The tip my cap to you.
that's
Oh my
that's
god!
it for me. You know, tip my cap. That's it.
You have won,
You
Gaza.
won.
You have won, sir.
You emptied my bank account. Congratulations.
Oh
I think that deserves something pretty fantastic, don't you? I
Definitely.
think you know what? I think Guillermo, could you please, since Taza seemed to enjoy Felix getting his head cut off, can you do a little chibi of Felix's head being chopped off
Sure, why not?
this week sometime?
You deserve it.
And we'll send that over to Taza. So you get a dead Felix chibi. That's what you
Because
get.
you just massacred him with those bits.
I can have a little dedicatory if you want. You can send me a message with that. A little
I had
text.
one left.
I love it. Taza, will you send me a message in Discord and just say Felix chibi, and I will make sure that Gruna gets that to you, because you deserve it,
Yeah,
sir.
absolutely. Thank you so much for the support, honestly.
That's awesome. So yes, now we need to figure out. So I want to hear first from Felix, who has been murdered and smacked around.
Oh man. How do I look right now? Like I'm limping, bones
mess.
are out of place, I'm assuming.
They are. Like your arms the wrong way.
Right. And somehow I'm still talking shit. That's all that matters.
You are.
We love that
You
energy.
are. It's true.
We love that energy.
Yes. Gosh, worth it. Honestly, the whole night, everything, just seeing Gorf peeing on people and thinking that a paladin is his dad, that really did it for me. Dale almost getting laid, that was fun.
I mean,
a Thule
maybe
chasing
got
the
him back
mothers,
late.
Just piling it on.
Yeah, leftovers, yeah.
Oh my god, I love it.
I fought an army. What did you do last night?
Yeah.
So how are you gonna fix this? That's what I need to know.
I'm going to do a quest for the the Merchant Prince of Commerce that he has in mind. Something that he needs a charmer for, although not the type of charmer that I am, but I will try to make it work either way. And
You're gonna get him a prostitute?
No, what? Yes, I'm getting him a prostitute. Yes, I am his prostitute now. No,
No, like you're
as
getting one for him.
So
yeah, sure.
if you can't think of anything,
I have something in mind for the actual quest, but
Any chance we could
I'll
run
have
a
to approve it.
quick ad break? I really could use a chance.
oh yes, we
The
could
restroom.
let's do a little. Yes, let's do a little 1 minute ad
All right.
break,
Appreciate
and we
it.
can so that everyone can go use the restroom.
Yep.
Keeping
Hold on
it
one
character,
second.
Gorf.
Too much snow. And drink.
Let me.
I was thinking something with a snake den or something, like snake charmer.
Did you do that? It's actually not the music, but the movement.
Oh. Gruna, my movements. Ow, ow. Fantastic.
No, 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 no.
We'll do a 3-minute ad break so that everybody has time to run to the restroom.
Sure.
Fabulous. And hold on just a moment.
Un momentico más. Oh, he said bye.
Yeah, we lost him.
Forever.
I tie.
Yeah, basic.
Yeah, your connection like pooped out.
Now there's like a blue thing instead of you. Quite an improvement, but
Hmm.
Much
what am I to
better.
say?
Much better. That was so
Do
funny.
I get any? Do we get any bonuses for top donator for the month? Come on.
Well, you get to play with us.
That's
Is it
something.
Like,
Oh, so
Yuppie,
it's
so much
weekly.
better.
It's weekly.
Is it weekly?
Yeah.
Oh.
The resets in 4 days. 'Cause I gifted some subs last week, and I was like, oh, I guess you just reset. Next month I'll just drop something big. Well, it's every week. It's every week. So if you look at it, resets in 4
You're asking
days.
for too much.
If
Too
what's
much.
happening?
We're just talking about how the thing is calculated, the top tier.
Yeah.
It resets every
Me and
week.
Taza are going to have another bit off again, and I'm winning.
We are into it. We are here for the
Yeah.
big drop. I love
Okay, so-
a good surprise.
So, Kyle, are we moving into a downtime territory now then?
Yes, we are.
So
Oh,
there's
is that what you were asking?
well, there was you say a role play scene I would like to play out. Could we do that right after the break and then go into the downtime? It'll be quick. Sweet.
You have to done time
26,
because I don't know if you
25,
have
24. We will be there in just a moment.
Taza's gonna be saving up them dollar bills just for this.
Thing.
Aw, thank
Honored.
you.
Honored.
That honors me, and I guess everyone else.
And there we
And I guess
are.
everybody else.
Ad break has been completed.
Hi guys.
Welcome back.
All right.
Hello,
So starting with Felix.
Mhm.
So, what is this thing that you are going to?
Well, I set up a coin exchange. I cleaned up the merchant stalls. I did a bunch of other stuff. What else did
Let me
I?
pull that up. So what you did was you researched the crest on the mine doors. So the giant doors, the 100-foot tall doors, to the mine, the entrance of the mine. You researched the crest on that, and what you discovered is that it's the crest of a dwarf called Bandoth Noble Fury. And now that you have that name, there is a new quest where you can research who he was. But you now at least have a name to who ran the mine. And his name was Noble Fury.
I swear to God, Taza. I swear to the Lord.
What did he do this time?
He's
Oh
he's
my
getting someone
God.
push-up. I mean, why not?
I mean,
and
who is
who
it going
are
to
the
be?
push-ups
Who
for?
do you think
Yeah.
is going to be?
Who are those push-ups for, Taza? Hmm?
Who do
Yeah,
you
who,
pick?
who are you giving him to?
Ooh, baby, I wonder. Oh, I wonder.
Wow,
Get
crazy
it!
I
kid.
can make
Not
you
only-
do
Nice.
push-ups,
Not
Tazza.
only
Do it
did
I
he-
can make
again,
you do
Mike.
push-ups.
Not only did he outbit you, he also is like rubbing it in. I love it.
This
Yeah.
is best day of Felix's life right now.
Yeah,
I'll tell you that
yeah, it
much.
sure is.
Mm-hmm.
Sure is. Get to it. You're gonna get swole today.
Yep. Swollen and sore.
It's the same.
You better be crying.
And just to let you guys know,
Please
I have
support
over 10,000 points, ally points. So
If
you
anyone
know,
have to do
if anyone pisses me
Oh,
off,
yeah.
200
I have
push-ups.
lots of push-ups.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15,
Give me a
6.
break.
Oh, all right. 5 more. We need 5 more.
No, no, wow.
Do
You
it
can
for
do
Felix.
it.
Just do another set. No, no.
17, 18, 19, 20. Yay! You did it.
I would just like to say at this point that we love our subscribers and our donators. Thank you very much for coming to the stream.
Yes, and Felix loves doing push-ups.
Yep, strength of -1 over here. Woo!
I have 3,000 points. I mean, if you really enjoy them.
Listen, if you give me push-ups, I will give you 60 push-ups right now.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that's why you
Yeah.
don't,
Wow.
that's why we don't want to give each
Is that
other.
worth it?
We want to give each other push-ups because we all have ally points. We can just dump on each other.
I don't have that many. Where did you all get all those points?
Actually, I'll give you 80 if you want.
Oh damn.
I've been watching the reruns.
Yep.
We're keeping it on.
Oh, and make sure you watch the
Are you
reruns,
actually
guys.
farming points?
If you want to farm those push-up points, watch the reruns.
Ay, Dios mío. Así no se puede. Así no se puede.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, so good. So what is?
So yeah, I did that.
So,
I,
Where are we at?
so what I do want to mention to everyone that today we are doing something special that we have not ever done before. We are
Open
going
your
to be...
OnlyFans account. Sorry.
I'm sorry, what?
Me?
Reverse gravity. Reverse gravity. Today we are going to be raiding another channel when we get done. So in a half an hour, stick around. In a half an hour, we are going to go raid the Dungeon for All server and see
Nice.
what he's doing.
Yeah.
Doing all
What are
kind of
those?
crazy shit.
Making maps
So,
and stuff.
Yeah, so
Or
that'll be
piecing it
delightful.
together.
But for the next half hour, first, Felix, give me a quick little. So we went through. So you learned something, which is delightful. You learned something new.
Cleaned up the market. And I also created market stalls for the market, so that way we can actually set up for commerce. And I also
You did.
repaired the coin exchange, so that way we actually can trade from many different areas.
And since the marketplace used to house elementals, giants, drow, people from the Feywild, from the Shadowfell, from the Outer Planes, it was a truly astonishing market. So that is going to be an important thing. So yes, we do, but we don't have anyone to staff it yet.
Right, but the
So-
Prince of Commerce is pretty happy with me for that, at least.
Oh, I know what the Prince of Commerce demanded of you.
¿Quieres ser una de mis doncellas francesas?
Just don't let it... No, I'm just kidding. What is it?
So, the Prince of Commerce, you are going to have to, because technically the Prince of Commerce does not have any stake in the mine, or in the market. He has a stake in the mine. And Corton recently let everyone know that there is a huge difference between the temple complex, the mine, the diplomatic quarters, all that kind of stuff. So the mine itself is not part of what you guys have been actually exploring.
Oh,
So
no.
the merchant prince, what
Oh,
he
no.
wants is he wants a stall in the market.
I mean, I might be able to help him get a stall in the market if he asks nicely.
You
You
are
owe
gonna
him
get
a
murdered.
favor.
You
Oh,
like
yeah!
one day you're
Oh,
gonna
yeah, not
just
getting
have to learn.
murdered. Oh, that thing.
You already,
Corton comes out of nowhere with a Bigsby's hand.
you already got murdered
Ugh.
once.
Yeah.
Right? So, the lovely thing right now is that I have, in fact, redone the market area.
Nice.
So there are now market stalls and things like that, so you can go visit it if you'd like. At some point, we won't be doing that today, but at some point. Yes, so you did. You created the new market stalls. We don't have anyone trading in there yet. So merchantry could be the first. Then I think that's it for you for your downtime, as far as I.
Cool. And I accidentally saved my own ass somehow, so that's cool.
Yay!
Yay!
Yeah, you can always
Oh.
do it like that. You can save yourself in an uncanny reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's one of the
Cards are
rules
cool that
here on this server. If you tell me an astonishing story, you can always save yourself. But it has to be amazing. If it's not amazing, then you get smacked. So
Okay.
just so everyone knows.
And apparently, we can also screw ourselves over with an amazing story, like this
Sure
session.
can.
Right?
Super fun. All right, so
Yeah.
Dill, what are you doing with your downtime?
Well, first of all, I would like to do something just on the same day that we just gather the group and have a talk with them. That's possible. I'm just going to gather everyone around and say, excuse me, everyone. I know this day and yesterday has been a bit crazy, but I just wanted to say something to the group.
Oh no,
I-
you're
I-
my friend.
Let him speak.
Oh, sorry. Not the moment.
Sorry, I'm just trying to figure out if that could happen. No, sorry. I just wanted to thank you all. Yesterday, the parts I can remember, that was the best day of my life. I've lived for 1,000 years, and everywhere I go, everywhere I've gone for my lifetime, I've always been met with fear and anger, usually. But yesterday, I left my comfort zone thanks to you all. I would have never been to that market, to that festival, were it not for you. And I experienced something that I've never experienced before. Just immense joy. And that feeling filled me. And it's all thanks to you all. Thank you.
Oh, still. Well,
But-
we're here for you, mate. I mean, I had a lot of fun too, and I didn't know you had a sense of humor.
Mhm.
Last night you showed me you actually had one.
I didn't know you were such a big flirt.
Mm. Look at him
I
flirting
didn't
with all the
either.
lady. Well, it's a changeling, so it maybe was not a lady. It is
Mm.
undetermined, but hey, it's a good way to start. I mean, we do not judge here.
Luna,
Yeah, it
you
was a
are
great
truly the
video.
rightful queen of the night market. I will give
Aw.
you that.
Thanks. I will take that title. I'm not
Very
giving it back.
modestly.
Thank you, gimme.
Yeah,
Thanks.
thank
Right. So
There.
Dill has bonded with his delightful friends, Glorious. And now, what
Yeah.
else would Dill the Reaper like to do?
His first day is spent going to Walking Spiral, buying some spells and stuff. I think he bought the Gentle Repose spell. That's right. And with his ritual book, he was able to implement that into his spell book. Then he spent just under a week traveling the mountains, trying to commune with the ferryman again. He gained a new boon. And then he has 25 days that I don't know what the fuck to do with.
What is this boon?
Yeah, what's this
that you
boon?
speak of?
Well, mechanically, he can now, after casting a spell that will protect him or someone else, use his bonus action to make an attack,
Oh.
That's legit.
as he would after taking the attack action. So that's sweet.
Yeah, so
Sweet.
Dill, he had the choice between taking, because his scythe does both necrotic and radiant damage, and he had the choice to go down the path of darkness or to go down the path of light. And because he chose the path of light, anytime he casts an abjuration spell, or a protective conjuration spell, he can use his bonus action to do a full attack, which is delightful.
legit.
Guy.
But he then
Took you
lost.
1,000 years to
but
decide the path, but
he did lose.
Took you long enough.
He did lose the bonus damage, the bonus radiant damage on his weapon.
Ah.
So it was replaced with that new delightful ability. All right, so Dill,
Good guy Reaper.
so you don't know. So that was like a week and a half, essentially.
That took 5 days, you said.
5 days, yes. So you still have plenty of time. What tasks would you like to do?
Yeah, so all the tasks have already been taken, the ones that I could complete. But I figured I'll just help anyone who needs it, and if I can spend my downtime days helping anyone else to give them some downtime days back, I'll just do that. Because I have 25 days that I don't know what to do with, so if I can give like someone else back 15 days, then
Did you figure out what to do
well,
with the
it looks like
non-Kedians?
You
I
could.
have no
Oh yeah, yeah. What are you gonna do with that?
I have no idea. Dill doesn't see that as a problem, so I'm having because he saw it as he has saved a lot of people by not letting someone have an undead army, so he's divided. I don't know what he
Screw
would do.
non-Ked.
Yeah, go
Yeah,
on.
exactly.
I mean, it's a great tourism place. Beautiful.
Well, we can
they
have
treat
that as a
amazing strangers.
story hook for later on.
Yeah.
That is no problem.
Yeah,
Oh.
but yeah, he's gonna. He's also spending one day at least in the library looking for poetry. But otherwise, if I can spend some downtime days helping someone else to
Sure.
give them some
So-
downtime days back, then I'll do that.
You helped convert the broken down lockers and things like that into a truly luxurious sitting room on the second level. It will allow patrons of the markets to sit down and rest and relax in style. So it will attract a higher level of clientele to the market. And you also then sat down with Gerwald and helped him to start researching all about Constitution in the library of the True Silver.
And there's one thing I would like to do on the very last day, but we can take that at the end because it's going to involve everyone.
Okay. So next,
think that
let
I'll-
us
I want-
see. What do we want? Oh, Ethul cannot talk right now, so I will let you know what Ethul, because I did have a conversation with him before about what he was doing with his downtime.
Mhm.
Let's see. What is he? Where are you, Ethul? Oh, I do not have it written down. No, was he one of the ones that did not? Oh yeah, Thule did not know what he wanted to do. So then we will save
Yes,
that for
sir.
next week. Karuna.
Okay. So, my original plans before all that happened were I wanted Gruna to investigate about her contract with the witches and see if he can do anything about it. Then he wants to modify the shard of that she got from the treasure from the temple, you know, the 19-inch stone crystal, or whatever name it was. A stone speaker crystal. He wanted to modify it in order to be like a focus for her magic, so she doesn't have to have headaches and all these side effects when she does the Tales from Beyond.
Sure. That's gonna take. So you researched contracts.
Hey, Ellen.
What?
Oh, sorry. Just
Okay.
I said out loud.
Hey there. When we've got so Gruna, you as you researched, what you found is that contracts that are bound by in the outer planes cannot be broken unless the contract is signed over to someone else, who then decides to break, or if somebody in the contract, if all parties in the contract decide to destroy the contract. So,
Would we know
You-
if all the parties in the contract are, well, disappear for any reason you don't know, maybe of old age, of a tragic incident, would that help?
nope,
All right.
it's
So,
done in the infernal realm, which means that it lasts beyond life.
all right. So you're gonna be, yeah, I thought just killing them was gonna be enough. Okay.
There's so then you are attempting to change things on.
Yeah, probably she's not gonna do it herself. She's gonna be like supervising what is happening to the object, but
Oh.
someone who actually knows how to.
You wanted so first you wanted to alter that thing that you
Yeah.
had. So that means that'll be about 10 days. It's going to take for you to really invest yourself in that and make that your focus. But you can now have that as your spell focus. And that leaves you about 9 days left. What do you want to do with it?
She wanted to get a tattoo, a magic tattoo, but that was
Okay.
before all this happened. And also, in order to
All right,
compensate,
hold on one
what's-
sec. So the magic tattoo may or may not exist in this world.
Okay,
Let
we
me
can figure out
tell
if
me-
it works.
So hold on one sec. While I pull this up so that I can actually look at things. All right, so let's pull that up. And then go over here, and we're going to do magic items, and we are going to do tattoo. There we go. All right, which tattoo were you looking for?
I didn't know which variety you were going to let me, so didn't look that much.
Okay, so you are searching for a tattoo that you may or may not get.
Well, I just didn't. When I was before knowing what variety I should know, I couldn't decide. Just me in person, so I don't know which one to get.
No, that's fine. So we'll say it takes you. Was there anything else that you wanted to do with your downtime?
The only thing is, in order to compensate all the trauma that I created to some child, Luna is going to propose, since she was disguised as Lol, so her form is not what actually is her child, to like every once in 3 days and during the month, during the evening, she wants to do like a tale stories. Like she's gonna go to merchantry.
Oh
and she's gonna
no,
have,
no
They
one's
don't
gonna
want me
let
there?
you. They do not. They are not
Okay,
gonna let
she
their
tried
children.
to explain what she tried to do that, and everybody said, and she said, okay, then I don't know how to. I'm gonna solve that.
So wait, so so was that who you were supposed to deal with,
Yeah.
or were
That
you
was-
supposed to deal with the assassins?
Well, I think I was supposed to deal with the parents in which
Aw,
one of them. I don't know
thanks.
exactly anymore. I don't know anymore. If it was the assassins, the army, or the parents, or all of them.
Okay, so
I don't know.
there was Felix was the merchant prince.
Yep.
Gorf was the palate, or Gorf was his father.
Gorf has a lot.
Yeah, Gorf was his father.
Peed on
Dill
half
was
the
the
town.
non-petties. I can't even remember now. Too much shit happened.
It's
It was a crazy night.
it's two merchant princes. One I threw, one I pissed on, and then actually it's 3. And then when I went to the house and
That's the
thought it was a
version
brothel,
before, yeah.
and then my dad.
Was there 4 then?
I think,
Good
I
time.
think it was just 3.
All right,
Because the
so
military. Okay.
there was military, religion, commerce, lore.
And lore. There was 4 of them. Yeah.
I don't know if what I did.
I mean,
to the-
I did get in trouble with the army.
One of them I didn't do anything to.
I was kind of racist to elves. Can I make like a 5 pages apology to all elves in merchantry?
Because I threw one. Tried to hug one, and then I pissed on one. Oh, and then
Anyway,
yeah, I went to the house.
We only have. Oh, yay! Gifted subs.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, thanks.
And
There's-
he's
wait,
why
doing
did you
it
take
despite
first place?
me.
Why do I not have
He's
a? I
doing
don't
it
have a-
despite me. Gosh dang it. I can have nothing.
Did
I
he
am allowed
surpass you,
nothing.
sir?
I am allowed no fun whatsoever.
Well, they are now first in all
Yeah.
regards.
Oh
so,
my gosh!
good job.
You won the channel.
You
win
won.
the channel.
You win it all.
There you have. This is our passwords. This is what we have to do.
Yeah, you're good.
You know what?
Yeah.
You're a sub.
It doesn't count. They're not subscribed. Doesn't count.
That's hilarious. Oh my god.
Oh, he's gifting
Yay!
subs. He's gifting subs so that he can get enough points to give you more push-ups. That's.
Yeah,
Oh,
no,
that's
he
what I'm
just wanted to
guessing
be
is
first
happening.
in the sub.
I mean, that's.
Oh
Is
my
he-
gosh, that's right.
Is he subscribed? That's all that
it's-
matters.
It's both.
Is he? Gift and subs, but I mean, but
So yes, there is yay. So in 13 minutes we're gonna raid a channel. So we need to get through the rest of our downtime stuff.
Right.
So now,
Oh.
all right. So Gruna, what are you doing with those last 9 days?
hey,
I don't know
Oh
how to
my
solve
God,
any
and he
problem.
says, you forgot to
Yeah.
subscribe yourself.
I don't know why my
Thank you for
notifications
subscribing.
aren't working. I had a
okay.
notification for the subs.
But it's not happening because you're a bad person.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, maybe if I test it, it'll. No, I mean, it was really cool. I promise. I will do some testing after the stream. But thank you. We acknowledge you, Kaza, and how wonderful you are.
Yeah, for
Love
next
it.
time. So,
Oh my gosh. And yes,
Um,
everybody who's chatting, let everyone else know. Go grab your friends. We're going to do a big raid, which will get you a lot of channel points. In about 12 minutes, we're going to go raid the Dungeon for All server. So
I
grab
think
your
he's doing
friends.
some
The
math
Dungeon
for
for All
those.
thing,
It's gonna be
yeah.
fun.
yes. If you
So-
participate in the raid, you get 250 ally points.
Yep.
Oh.
That's
So
5
and
push-ups.
you get ally points over on the other server too.
I don't
Yes.
think they carry over, but yes, you can get some.
They don't do
points.
push-ups over
you'll
there,
get, I
so it
think you'll
doesn't
get
even
your.
matter.
I think you'll get points over on the other server.
Yeah.
So yes. So now, all right. So Gruna, 9 days. What are we gonna do?
So, do magic tattoos exist in the end, or they do not?
Do what?
Do magic tattoos exist?
It depends
or
on
not?
one.
I want to do
Like-
a tattoo that empowers my illusions in some way that we have to chat about.
Okay, so I'm just gonna put you down for 9 days. You are searching for a tattoo.
Yes, and let's do that.
If you want to find the right one and the right artist, because
Of
you're an
course.
artist yourself.
Same way I did. I was months for my tattoo because I wanted to find that tattoo artist.
Oh
Which
yeah.
happened to be
Oh,
my
yeah.
city.
I think I still
So
have 2 days.
now-
But I think we talked about that.
So you what?
I think I still have 2 days, but I think we talked about that.
How you? I'm gonna say that those 2 days were used to beg for the mercy of the merchant prince, which
Oh.
takes many days. It's because you ruined his day. You ruined his whole festival.
In the
All
end,
right,
he
so
got what
Dill
he
is taken
wanted.
care of, Grun is taken care of, Felix taken care of. Thul can't talk, that leaves Gorf. Gorf. Let's look at what you did.
Everybody. So
Yeah.
before this,
Forget.
Gorf cleaned up the kitchen and the dining area, and then alongside Corton hired some kitchen staff.
Yes, so you have a fully staffed kitchen. You sure do.
So
Now you have
what Gorf is going to do is he's going to invite all the people that he wronged, including his dad and the merchant princess,
God, I love it.
and throw a giant party along with a tour of this first and second level of the mine, which he will personally show everyone around where everything is.
So,
If that's okay
so
with Corton.
really, so we're going to revamp that a little bit. Because you did that and because you had that idea, what we're actually going to do is Corton and the other members that you have met of the Prismatic Sleigh
This is gonna throw like a
are
ball.
going to steal that idea from you, and they are going to have an official Delver's Dream opening ceremony. Now that the mine is going, and you are going to be the chef.
Oh.
The Gorf is going to organize everybody and make some kick-ass food.
Amazing
And-
stuff. It's going to be glorious. So yes, that is
That's
Gorf's
his
downtime.
big apology.
Gonna cook for you.
He's even gonna send like letters and things to them to like see what their favorite foods are, and like, you know, like basically say, I will make you anything you want. Like just name it and I will make it for you and it will be amazing. And I'm really sorry for peeing on you.
So no yellow colored liquors or anything.
No.
I think it's,
No. Too soon.
Not
Too
again.
soon.
This is lemonade.
And so something else that happened during Gorf's downtime, though, is because Gorf stood toe-to-toe with demons and devils and traps of all kinds throughout his mission through the mines. He has, in fact, amplified the powers of his giant mace. There is now
He got
something
fed
that
by
happens.
some demons.
No.
Because it loved to eat those demons.
Now, anytime you do, so it's all the regular things that you do, so all the fabulous things with fiends and undead and stuff like that.
Yep.
But anytime you hit someone for 25 points of damage or more in one round, you actually gain an aura similar to a dragon's frightful presence.
Ooh.
So everyone around you for 30 feet will have to do a DC 15 wisdom save or be frightened of you.
Hell yeah.
Yes. Now, for now, because it's still not totally invested, they will have advantage on that if they are not a fiend or an undead. But who knows, in the future, it might become stronger
Gotcha.
and you might lose that. But so, yes, so you now have that.
Sweet.
So that should be fun now
Actually,
that you are a
um,
berserker bear.
I think the maximum damage I can do if... Okay, so it is possible for me to do 30 damage.
Yeah, we're
in a
not going to
turn.
do numbers right now.
Yeah.
We're not doing numbers.
Yeah. It's not.
Yeah, we can do math later.
Maths.
Okay, so oh well, thank you for the contribution to the
Yeah.
world map as well. So we have got a new super fan. We love you for it. You make us very happy.
MVP.
And let me let you know other things that have happened in the mine over those 30 days. So, Peregrine, who loves history because he's very, very old, actually researched, you know how there were those pillars that had different stories on them on each level of the mine? Well, Peregrine researched some of them. So on the first level, there was the history of the mine, and it talks about the various wars that it had with different kingdoms and the rise and fall of powers across the continent while the mine was still active. But most of that you can find in pretty much any library. Though when he was researching the pillars on level 2, he discovered a very interesting fact. And for those listening who don't know all the lore, for the last 1,000 years, up until about 10 years ago, there was no planar travel that could happen on this planet. And because of that, there was no connection to the outer planes or the inner planes. So you had no healing magic, which comes from the plane of positive energy. You had no undead or necromancy, which comes from negative energy plane. You couldn't summon things from anywhere because they were things from other planes. So all of that was cut off. But there are 12 portals in the mine that could still operate even when the rest of the planet was cut off from the multiverse. And on the second floor pillars, what you learn is that this was due to an agreement between Moradin, the leader of the Dwarven Pantheon, and the goddess of love, who on this planet is Soon. And there's much more to what's going on in that relationship. But he also discovered that all of the contracts that were built into the pillars, if you find beings that are similar to the ones that signed the contracts originally, when you are an owner of the mine, you can actually sign them to a contract that binds them. Next, the hobgoblins got together and they helped the goblins create a lovely little checkpoint on the first level. So there's now security guards, little goblin security guards on the first level of the mine. So that's delightful. The goblins took this time to actually reinforce their housing on level 2. So they moved everyone out of the first level of the mine. So those areas are now free and clear again. And the goblins have moved down to the second level of the mine. And you discover there are 500 of them living there. So they reinforce their houses so they're not going to be sort of falling down and stuff.
That's
And I think they're going to be regularly working to become bigger members of the Society of Delver's Dream. Then Corton, Peregrine, and Dill helped create the luxurious sitting room that you now have on level 2.
nice.
Corton also repaired and fixed the magic in the magic meeting room that allows people to sit at a table, do a deal that will become a binding deal based on the magic of the mine. And they hired, Corton helped hire the kitchen staff. And Peregrine also researched the history of the level 3 pillars. And he discovered that Moradin was here at the beginning of this crystal sphere, but none of the other dwarven gods were. And that part of the deal that he worked out with Soon, the goddess of love, was that Soon could somehow, for some reason, allow planar travel, but only she could. And in order to get the power of the rest of the Pantheon here, every prayer had to pass through her, so she kept getting more and more and more and more and more power. And those are the things that you have learned. Now, new quests have popped up. You can research Bandoth Noble Fury, and you can research the Pillar contract, which will give you new and exciting information, which I hope is glorious. and will help you in your journey, because I certainly won't, because I am going to murder all of you. Oh!
Unless Dill does it first.
Yeah,
Oh.
he's
Already-
already gotten one of us, so
Already 1 out of 5.
statistically,
Yeah.
he's already
Beware.
beaten you.
Beware. And now it is time. I've never raided before, so bear with me if I do a terrible job with this. But everybody, we are going to now raid the Dungeon for All server. All right?
Raid.
Raid.
We're gonna start
Raid.
the raid. Raid.
I think there's we want to do like a certain word. What's the word we're gonna spam in his chat?
Drunk. Hangover.
Drunk.
Hangover.
Hangover.
Do
Hangover.
hangover.
Peed.
Here we go.
Hangover.
And
Hangover.
are we all here? I've got 10
I think
people.
so.
10 people.
Yep.
We
All
should
right.
have more than
Do,
that.
do I
Okay,
click
we're gonna
leave or
raid.
stay?
Yeah.
Do I click
11.
leave?
There's
Raid.
11.
Right now.
There's 11. Oh, damn, we just lost one. Oh, no.
Oh,
Okay,
wait, no,
sorry.
go back.
I waited too long.
Nope.
We have to try it again. All right, we're going to try
Oh, we're
it again.
raiding now.
Oh, we
Oh,
are?
am I in the?
Yeah,
am I in
we're in
the
there. We're in
other?
there.
Yeah,
I think
we're
I'm
Oh,
raiding.
in.
good. I'm not, but I...
Yeah, it
All
says
right,
stick
so I think
around.
we can... Yes, so stick around and say hi to Luca. And thank you for everything today. You guys are amazing. We had so much fun. And we will see you on Friday.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.